Hello, Richard from budgetguitarist.com. Today we're taking a deep dive into the HX Stomp, specifically the harmony delay pedal. And I think you're going to find it really interesting. If you've got a HX Stomp, Helix Native, Helix Lite, Helix, or the Pod Go, then you've got this delay. And it's worth some exploration. So what I actually did is I recorded a part, an arpeggiated guitar part. So I recorded it out of the HX Stomp, and I recorded a stereo output, 1 and 2, and then I also recorded the clean version. So just no effects, clean, straight in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screencast of kind of the settings so that you can hear in real time how they work. So without any further ado, let's get into the track. I'm going to show you the little track that I wrote. And then afterwards, I'm going to go through and do the screencast and show you how it works and maybe some cool variations you can try. Let's go through the mix. First, we got a drum track, just a basic beat. Then down here, I've got a synth bass, and I'm using retro synth, which is sort of like a Moog or Prophet kind of deal, 2 oscillators. Guitar players won't care about any of that junk, but anyway. So then I've got 2 tracks here from HX Stomp. I've got this one here, and this is what the main output from the box was. Channels 1 and 2. Okay, and then down here, this is channels 5 and 6 that I recorded. See how the waveform's not as loud here as this? That's because I recorded just the clean output. So like just the notes I was playing. And then I've got Helix Native, which is, well, it's a Helix only in software form. And I've got the exact same patch, and it sounds like this. So I mean, it pretty much sounds identical. So here's something kind of interesting. If I turn off the harmony delay, and the harmony delay is what this is about, but we'll get to these settings in a minute. If I just play you the raw track, this is what I played on guitar. Right? So you turn on harmony delay though, and it sounds like this. Off. On. So what I love about this is it's not just the edge, you know, where it's just like a dotted eighth note or dotted quarter note, like over and over again. What the harmony delay does is it actually produces additional notes. So let's see if I can do this. I'm going to try to play just one note. There, I did it. So do you hear how it did like an arpeggio? Let me do it again. It did an arpeggio and then it repeated the arpeggio. Well, I just played the bottom note of that, which was an A. I played an A and it played basically an A minor chord. And it played it in interesting synchronization. Okay, so here's what you need to know about this. Every song has a tempo. In this case, this tempo is 118 beats per minute. 118 is, there's a lot of dance music at 118. But anyway, so 118 is the tempo. And I've got, in my harmony delay, let's go through the settings. So I've got the note sync set to quarter dotted. So what if I set that to something different? What if I set it to quarter notes? Then what does it sound like? Well, let's listen. What it sounds like is a mess, because that doesn't work for that tempo. What I will do is I will play around with like the pattern that you play works with the delay that you've got set. So this is quarter note dotted. What if I go with another dotted? What if I go with eighth note dotted? What does that sound like? Let's check it out. That's actually kind of cool. So this dotted pattern works really well, whether it's quarter note dotted or eighth note dotted. Sometimes there's like a debate online as to whether you should know music theory. Oh, does music theory hurt you or does it help you? Well, this player is really good because they never studied any music theory. Music theory is basically just the mathematics of music, right? And if you understand what a quarter note is and an eighth note is, and if you understand what a dotted quarter or a dotted eighth note is, well, then it's easier to understand why these things work. You don't have to. You can just play around with the numbers till it sounds good. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Okay, so what's it playing here? The key, so we've got the note sync we've set. The key I've got set to A, and the scale I've got set to minor. And of course, I can change this. I can make this A major. Let's hear what that sounds like. It starts out good, but then when I start playing those minor thirds, that just does not work. What about minor pentatonic? Let's hear that. Funky. I mean, that might be to somebody's tastes. I'm not crazy about it, but you know, melodic minor, sure, why not? What's it sound like? Same so far. Oh. Oh no. There's some really bad notes in there. So let's go back to minor. Okay, so we're really hearing a triad. We're hearing the root tone, which is A, and then voice 1, that's going to be the second note in the chord, and I've got it set to +2. So this is a minor third. And then notice that I can set the volume level and the pan level. So that means I'm playing, basically what I'm playing is, I'm playing A, C, and E, which is a A minor chord. And I can position those notes. And so the second note, I've actually got it panned left a little bit. And then the third note, +4, which is, that's my E, that's a fifth, I've got that panned right a little bit. So you can kind of mess around with these settings, and it does interesting things. What happens if I take that +2? If I just if I set it to 0, I'm going to take away the third, and it sounds like this. What if I go down a whole step like that? My bad. That's not a whole step. This is. I forget these are not semitones. That's cool. Well, we're a little into jazz territory there. But you can see the potential for this thing. Like if you really want to do wacky stuff, this is such a cool effect. All right. So then I've got a plan now. I've got my original recording here. Let's create some chaos. I've got my original recording here, which is all these same settings. It's A minor, quarter note dotted. What if I set the Helix native version to eighth note dotted, and I turn both tracks on? This should be nutty. Let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, I was right, it's nutty. So anyway, back into Helix Native. If you've got HX Stomp and you've got a computer with some kind of DAW on it, like a Logic or a Cubase or whatever, you can buy Helix Native for $99, and you really need to do that. So basically, this top row is like what an HX Stomp can do, and then both these two rows together is like what a full Helix can do. Because an HX Stomp is half a Helix. A Helix has two CPUs, and a HX Stomp has one CPU. It's the same CPU though. So really I could come down here. That sound we just did, I could achieve that with just one patch, really. Because I could duplicate this all the way down here and just set one to quarter note dotted and one to eighth note dotted. So at this point in the video, I think it's fair for me to say that I'm expecting that this video is going to bomb compared to most of my other videos. I think this is a very specific thing. Not everybody's going to be interested in the harmony delay because it's really, really weird. You can do all kinds of crazy arpeggio things and do the kind of stuff I'm doing here, and that's not going to appeal to most people. But if you've got a Helix-based product, including the Pod Go, and you're wondering what is this harmony delay, then basically I hope this video was a little bit instructional for you. I think it's amazing. I love that you can pan the notes like all over the place, and inside of HX Stomp you're really limited in terms of how many blocks you can do. Like you can't do a full, you can't do like 3 harmony delay pedals inside of HX Stomp because it is a CPU killer. It uses a lot of power. But what you will find is inside of Helix Native, CPU cycles is not really an issue. I mean, we proved a couple of videos ago that you can run Helix Native on a Core 2 Duo. So imagine like this machine's got a 6-core i7, and this Mac is, a generation or two out of date. The new M2 Macs would smoke this thing. So you could build almost anything you want to in Helix Native and not have to worry about running out of CPU. It's just a beautiful thing. I also want to point out that I've done my own kind of side-by-side listening tests. When I record my guitar direct and use Helix Native versus straight out of the HX Stomp, I cannot tell the difference. To me, they sound identical. And the only reason they might not sound identical is if I don't have the volumes matched up exactly perfect. But in terms of fidelity, it's identical. So yeah, pretty cool. So there you go. That was the harmony delay pedal from the Helix universe. In my case, HX Stomp, but also Pod Go, Helix Native, regular Helix, Helix Light, anything that has Helix on it. You have this super cool pedal. And this is just one delay pedal of a big collection of delay pedals, which is in a bigger collection of pedals, which is in the big collection of everything you get in the Helix universe, which I'm a super fan of, obviously. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing, clicking the bell, give it a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. There you go. And as always, I will see you again next Friday at 5.